Good morning, everybody. I want to give you a quick tour of the food forest. This is year 4 of turning my yard into a garden, and we're still underway in the fencing project. I've had to move a couple of beds to fit in the fence and move a couple of my blueberry plants. So I'll go over some of the mistakes that I've made along my little journey here. One of them being know where your property lines are, so that when you're putting your garden in, you know that you're not putting it on the neighbor's yard. That's what happened to me. Most of my strawberries way over there have to move this fall because they ended up being in my neighbor's yard. Oops. And the fence that I'm putting up is also conflict. So we've had to really crack down and go through the whole property and find that. Well, my garden consumed most of it. And so when you're planning out your food forest, I suggest drawing it up many times, blueprints, walking the property lines, understanding the barriers that you're gonna have to put up, and some of the pests that you'll have to try to prevent: deer, raccoons, possums, cats. Cats are one of mine. I live in an area with a lot of cats. But we'll give you a quick tour just to go over some of the good things that I've done. Look at the sunflowers here. They're probably 8, 9, 10 foot tall. The ones right beside of me are about 6 foot tall, 5 foot tall maybe. But yeah, this is just a little intro to get you started. Alright guys, so this would just be a little bit of an overall view from the top of my property, or from the top of my yard, just to give you kind of an idea of the space. There's Mr. Trump, of how big this thing is. And it's really not that big, but the amount of food in it is incredible, and the variety of native pollinator plants and friendly flowers that we want: native flowers, edible flowers. So we'll start here at the entrance. I've got a couple of 4 o'clocks. That's a 4 o'clock there. Let's see here. There's another 4 o'clock somewheres in here. Oh, we'll have to find it. We have a lamb's quarters here, a tomato that I didn't plant. There's another 4 o'clock. These are flowers that I just planted by stem. We have some comfrey back there. Here is a good example. This was a tree that I cut out, a giant sweet gum maple I cut out when I moved in. But we have a lychee tomato that is getting ready. It's a thorned tomato plant. We have blackberries, raspberries. These are called artichokes, Jerusalem artichokes. They produce a pretty yellow flower, but also the tubers are edible. This is my doggy's bath. It's dirty right now. So we have lots of blueberries ready to be picked. We'll go over some of those. So all the pretty sweet blueberries, yum. There are some beans growing back there up my wall, my lattice. There is a gaillardia flower. We're also gonna have a ground cherry. I did not plant much of this stuff. The ground cherries I didn't plant. The gaillardias I didn't plant. I did plant the strawberries right there underneath the blueberry plant. Another gaillardia, strawberries, tomatoes I didn't plant beside of gaillardia I didn't plant. Okay, back here we have a lavender. Oh my goodness, and look at that beautiful bean already pulling beans off. Wow, purple blue-heeled beans, very pretty. Oh. We have more blueberries. There's another ground cherry beside of a gaillardia, and a pokeweed that I need to pull. More strawberries. Here's a cauliflower. Just really using it as a bait plant to pull in pests and things like that, to distract from some of our other plants. Here is another lychee tomato I did not plant. I grew these from seed last year, and then the fruits all went to created seeds. I just let the seeds fall into my soil, and that's the idea behind permaculture system. That's really just a pick and place kind of food system. So strawberries here in our path. We have more strawberries here. Another lychee tomato, nice pretty goldenrod. I forgot what this plant was. I planted it from a clearance pile of stuff. I need to look it up back on it. I keep forgetting to do that. We have more blueberries here with a lot of lettuces. I didn't plant this lettuce. It actually just grew from seed that fell from the plant. Volunteers. So here are some ground cherries also. Okay, we'll go over the front view of the sunflowers. These things are ginormous. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle on them. Boom, look how pretty those things are. All right, we have more sunflowers all through here. We have a red clover, some kales, and a parsley that is going to seed here, and all of those will just fall down, creating more parsleys. There's a lychee tomato. Now looking back up our walkway, we have tons of sunflowers, more sunflowers. So that's my little walkway that I just created this year. That's my entrance to the food forest. So let's go back to this camera. We have cucumbers here. We have a cucumber over there, cucumber over there, and they are already with cucumbers. So got a tomato there. This is a big oregano bush that's really just taken completely over. Here's my hollyhocks. They're getting ready to bloom. They're beautiful flowers. More sunflowers. Then we have these big pretty guys. If I can get, ta-da! They're huge. Have to be 10 foot tall. Okay, back to the foods. So you can see my nice bean there that needs to be tied up. Got beans. Pepper plant doing pretty good. Beans are climbing up through here. Then we have all potatoes. There's another sunflower, of course. There's another view of the back of the food forest. All of those are potatoes. So a line of potatoes. There's a bean. There's sunflower. Potatoes. Potatoes. They're just incredibly giant, so it looks crazy. So the walkway through the food forest has been taken over by the sunflowers. I'll try to work our way through here. We have another pepper plant with some baby peppers. Yay, sunflowers. Look how big these things are. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. They're beautiful though. Okay, just push this stuff out of the way. Okay, so now we're getting into one of my raised beds. I use the raised beds to manicure the soils so I can do my greens and stuff like that. We have Swiss chard, tomato, the big old weed that needs to be pulled out, kale, lettuce, kale, a briar that needs to be pulled, kales, tomatoes, carrots. Have more strawberry plants that I've just tried to put in weird places to get rid of. So this is where the fence is gonna go. I've been trying to clean it out a little bit. Okay. Down here we have it's called baby cakes, raspberries. They are delicious. I can hear, I'm gonna eat one. They're so good. This is all comfrey. I'm just letting them take over until I decide what we're gonna do with the neighbors or how they're gonna clean it up or if they want to leave it. So tomatoes, gaillardia, sunflower. Okay, now we're picking back up. More gaillardias, beans. Now these are all my kales that I'm letting go to seed so that I can take the seeds here, you see. Once these go brown, like these are ready. So I can literally just let all of these beautiful seeds here fall right down into my soil. And so the next year, I'll come out here and just pick the ones that I want, move them if I want, or just let them grow where they are. I love kale. I eat kale most meals, definitely in my shakes every day, but look at that, free seeds. Now we're in regenerative growth where the seeds that I've planted have now created thousands more, and we will not have to buy these types of kale anymore. How cool. Okay, there's another view of the strawberry patch. All of that strawberries all through there. Okay, we have some gaillardias back there blooming. Aren't those pretty? Kale, we have more kales going to seed. There's a dill, gaillardias. My tatsois down in here didn't do that well. Another gaillardias. Have some beets here, some tatsois. We have some lettuces back there, kills, lettuce. Ate a lot of salads. There's some tatsois that are doing good. Okay, now all of this is comfrey, gaillardias, tomato. Right there's a tomato. Gaillardia, more gaillardias. We have some okras and a tomato. Look at that, okra, okra, okra. Oh yeah, and there are, I thought it was celery. I need to look that up. I plant so many seeds and stuff that I just forget what some of it is. Okay, here's a good view of all the potato patch. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. All right, so here we have a watermelon. There we have another watermelon. Okay, we got another pretty lychee tomato doing good. All of this is strawberries, strawberries, strawberries. Okay, we got a zinnia. Look how pretty that is. And there's a bunch of zinnias here. Zinnias that I planted from seed. We have another lychee tomato, another watermelon, another watermelon. Planted those from seed. Those are sugar babies. There's another zinnia. Okay, here's some lettuce. In here I planted a lot of wildflowers, the zinnias, gaillardias, tons of different stuff. And so some of it's taking, I'll just have to go through and weed it. But I also planted some ground cherries. Let's see here, there's another ground cherry. All right, we have an eggplant that just didn't want to do very well this year, but that's okay. Plant lots of varieties of stuff and you learn each year what's good and what's not, what's gonna work, what you need to learn more of. So we have pepper, lettuces. I did not plant these. These are all just from seed from last year's lettuce. More strawberries. Strawberries, okay. More lettuce I did not plant. Here's my onion patch, my garlic patch, sunflowers. And the beauty behind the food forest is, you know, like you just find food in the craziest places. Here's lettuce, here's lettuce, there's lettuce. The strawberries are pretty much done for the season now because I just couldn't keep up with the picking. And so once it kind of starts to rot on the plant, it decides it's done for the year. So this bed's full of tatsoi. I thought that was a ground cherry, but it actually turned out to be a weed. That's one of my lessons I'm here to point out. Make sure you know your plants. So tatsois, we have ground cherries that are doing really good. Look how pretty those are. They're pretty plants. But I love the ground cherries in salsas, salads. They're amazing. Tatsois, this one's going to seed. Look how big those leaves are. And then a bunch of lettuce. All of that is just a crazy lettuce. So we have more peppers. More peppers. Let's go, Brandon. We have a dahlia flower here. Here's my beans that have taken over my little credenzas I built. Okay. We have kales going to seed here. More beans climbing the credenzas that I need to tie up some more, a little better. Another dahlia that's getting ready to flower. Okay, all of this is mint. Mint, oregano, potato. Lots of pretty bees and flowers. Bees everywhere, flowers everywhere. So these are California poppies. There is my red raspberry patch. All of my milkweed has finished blooming, well, most of it. There's still a couple that are trying to produce. Elderberries for Cynthia's. Okay, we have another oregano here. Zucchini plant there. Meadow sage there. There's all my pretty milkweeds. Look how tall they are. That one's probably 6 foot. Okay, you can tell I haven't watered here. Sunflowers, 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 comfrey. So all of this was just once grass. And I really enjoy the food forest tech. It's fun, it's very productive, but also it's just so creative. You know, my yard's turned into something, a talking point that I can literally just give people tours of. And how many people can say that about their yards? Most of our yards are barren and empty, boring, and mine is literally producing food and life everywhere. The bugs, praying mantises, butterflies, It is truly incredible. More lychee tomatoes. Here's a big lychee tomato. Those are all potatoes, and behind it, lychee tomatoes. Lychees. So here we have a couple big tomato plants, just regular tomatoes. And we'll see, there's actually tomatoes. Yummy Romas. Roma tomatoes. Here's another tomato plant. I wonder if it's got any tomatoes. We got some more lychees here. So, one big sunflower. This guy's probably 7 foot tall, but it'll be huge. If you look at the stem, it's a big boy. But that's it. That's my food forest. I'm gonna go over a couple more of the flowers that I've got. A couple of the other ways that I've used to turn grass into ecosystem. But that is pretty much overall my food forest. Very interesting way to use my time. You know, I see a lot of people that just mow every week. I'm picking beautiful food: strawberries, blueberries, beans, potatoes, watermelons. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And the biodiversity, which is also important. We need to be supporting our native bees, our native pollinators, our native ground bugs, animals, all of the stuff. You know, our yards really support nothing except for our addiction to the system. You know, we go out and mow a crop every week that produces literally nothing. Tell me how much of a slave you are. So this is the future, in my opinion. We need to go back to gardening, growing our food, having a relationship with it, having a touch with the nature outside. Go outside of your homes, folks. Put down the controllers, cut your TVs off. Go and plant some seeds. Teach your children how to become independent and sustainable, and quit depending on our system around us with the poison foods and medicines. So I could rant all day. Okay, now this is a section that I turned into mint and roses. Just cleaned it up. Back there I have some native mints. That's my platforms for my doggies. Tried roses here, that just didn't work. Okay, we have some more roses. This is all tiger lilies that I moved from my old house to my new area. And again, this is all grass. When I moved in, I would spend a decent amount of time mowing every week. Now it's just a beautiful habitat. Put a little frog house in there, so from my water fountain, some water, or my bird bath, water spills over. That creates a nice little habitat for some froggies. My bird bath. Got a hydrangea back there, azalea. I would say that's a pretty good tour. I have a lot of blackberries up here along my fence line. I just let grow, but try to really turn a boring yard into a full system. So I have pruned my apple trees back there so that they are actually producing some apples. Yep, that's my little food forest tour. Thank you guys so much for watching.